Hello everyone, and welcome back to 1-0 League Season... No! Steel Division League. Season 9. I nearly got you again, guys, didn't I? Steel Division League Season 9 is back, and we are in here with a lovely series. Luna versus Stardekk, with some lovely bans as well. Like some crazy bans. Stardekk banning Kirk, Amir Craiova, 50 seconds to Heroes, Rhymer, and Nov to just stop Luna from taking any wild divisions. But Luna can't be stopped. So in the end, we still have a 350-second versus second ID game at hand. But before we go in here, let's have a look onto what's going on in the group itself. Stardekk, Puritaner, and Colonel Koenig are in there. So a really strong group, 3 absolute veterans, and then Stardekk as the absolute hotshot at the moment, the up-and-comer. So should be a crazy group stage already, and we'll see how this will end. And yeah, if you want to support the whole league, you can find Matcherino, where you can click this claim code button to add 25 cents for the price pool for free. Never in your life made you made 25 cents easier. Basically inflation, the button. Yeah, press that, add 25 cents to the price pool for free. So yeah, easy money there. And then next thing, Fantasy League, everyone. Get yourself your Fantasy League team together out of the heroes that you want in your group. If you aspire to be like Onord, get Onord in your team. Let them work for you. And let's figure out who understands the league the best. Your budget is 350 points. Message AS, Green HD, or me on the Discord with your team pick. And yeah, check that out now. And then, next thing, website is still there. Is working fine. If you want to find any information about the rules of the league or sign-ups for future tournaments, for example, this Friday night 1-0 tournament, or this Saturday's Nebulous tournament, you can find them on playsdl.com now. So that you can check out as well. And then the latest edition, SD League Uncut, where you can find all tournament games that don't make it to the main channel that I cast there now. They won't be heavily cut, but all the streams that I'm making where to cast tournaments that don't make it to the main channel will make it here now from now on out. So yeah, check it out, and yeah, give it a follow so you can basically have an access to the archive of the SD League. Every subscription here helps. Yeah, would be amazing if we could get it over the 1,000 subscribers so that we can monetize these as well. Would help out greatly. So yeah, big thanks there to everyone already. And let's move on to the game itself, where we have Stardekk versus Luna happening. So yeah, let's go. Stardekk coming on the left side, Luna coming on the right side. And let's go. Stardekk, as always, taking a bit of a while here for setting up. Always and yeah, 2nd Infantry for sure the favorite here. And Stardekk using a good strategy up here on the top. A lot of CQC Infantry coming in to try to overwhelm this forest, as 352nd kind of struggles with the CQC. The best they got basically are Stoßtruppen. Other than that, they get just the German standard of Sturm Pioneers and Pioneers, which are both mediocre at best. So not the greatest CQC. So trying to overwhelm that with your amount of Rangers and Flamers is a good idea. In the center, a classic setup here with the Americans as well. A couple of M8s, a Sherman, a couple of Rangers, LMGs to hold the long range as well. On the other side, you see the wild mix of French vehicles in service of 352nd. The Panhard, recon vehicles, which can be pretty good, especially the one with HE shells. For 25 points, relatively cost-efficient support. Relatively good gun. Rate of fire a bit low. The other one has good rate of fire, but relatively low range, which is the issue of this. But for 25 points, it's still a decent vehicle. And then you get relatively good fire support tanks with the Panzer 35S and the Panzer B2 for their price. Like, they're really cheap. And they can deal with light armor as well, like the M8s or possibly Stuarts on the other side. Against Shermans, though, they struggle a bit, but that's what Martyrs are for on the longer ranges. We see a good amount of Martyr 3s and 2s on the battlefield here as well. Martyr 2 has the Pak 40, but it's quite pricey for it. Martyr 3, really cost-efficient unit with the CIS 3 gun and an MG34. So, a relatively helpful tank there as well. What's in the north? We see a couple of Grenadiers, a couple of Flamethrowers, and a Pioneer coming in as well. So, yeah, this should be quite nice. Ranger LMGs on the other side with solid fire support, M5 gun coming in as well. M5 gun, 2000 meter range, HE shells, so relatively good all-around weapon. And then in the south we have the M3 howitzer, which is a really good fire support weapon, and its heat shell can also be dangerous to Stuks for sure on 1500 meter range. So a really, really good weapon as well. So that's one of the main reasons why 2nd Infantry is so strong. All around good baseline infantry, and then the nice fire support with M5 guns, with M3 guns to get out there to the 2000 meter range, HE and AT, and then Shermans as a baseline tank, which are really good workhorses as well. So let's see how this goes. When it comes to the division power level on baseline paper, 2nd Infantry obviously is ahead of 352nd, but Luna always gets good strategies, always gets good strategies up with these meme divisions, and Luna obviously has the advantage of having played the enemy's deck, knowing the enemy's deck, because you play against 2nd Infantry quite often, on the ladder and in tournaments. Against 352nd, not so much, so Stardekk might not quite know what's coming up there, and that's really what Luna often can leverage to victory. Let's see if it works out this time, as if anyone can make meme divisions work, it's Luna. Let's see if it happens this time once more. In the north, Flamethrowers and Ranger Marauders pushing ahead of the formation. Flamethrower could be used to smoke off here so that the Rangers then easily can enter this forest as well. Luna coming in with a couple of Sturm Pioneers on the other side, and these Panhards and the S35 to try to deal with this engagement over here. Panhard trying to help out with some damage. Panzer Grenadiers unload before the Marauders can get on target. Getting some damage done. No smoke here from Stardekk. Surprising lack of micro there. Whilst in the center, Grenadiers try to move forward, fighting with Ranger LMGs though, which on the long range, if both are in the same cover, the Ranger LMGs will win, as they have 2 Brownings, and the Grenadiers, not the most amazing long range infantry. The MG34 is decent, but it's only 1, and it's not an MG42. Meanwhile, airfight over here. And Luna gets the crit on the Stardekk's fighter here. Could follow it up with the kill, as this one now can't do anything. So Luna could chase it down. Decides for the retreat though, that's wild. As this one can't be used right now. Stardekk also not calling it home. Not using the secret button to call it home. So missed micro for Stardekk there as well, but Luna not getting the kill is surprising. Would have been an easy pickup there, as it can't defend itself. It's it lost control. Meanwhile, center still stable, but the important fight is up here. Ranger pushing in. A couple of them already being pushed back though. Luna has taken a couple of good engagements there. Sturm Pioneers getting the kill on these Rangers as well. So Luna holding the front line for now, which is kind of surprising. Panzer 35 must have helped out quite a bit. And now BF-109 tries to come in. Doesn't drop the bombs though because of the smoke, so struggling to hit there. Meanwhile, Ranger LMGs should win this fight against Grenadier. Though Grenadiers here can use their carabines, but Ranger LMGs with 2 Brownings still should have more firepower there. In the south, nothing major happening, both sides being defensive there. Whilst M8s try to help out in the center. Martyr and the Panhard moving around, try to help out, killing this off. And in the north, Luna, for now, holding the forest. Grenadier was pushed back by the Ranger. BF-109 still trying to get a bombing hit in. Tries to hit the M1 gun here while it's being blind. Doesn't quite perfectly hit, but at least still does some more damage to it. And the Panzer 35 continues dealing damage to Stardekk units over here, pushing back the Ranger, stopping it from bullying the Grenadiers. Whilst in the center, we have a fight between an M8 and some Panhards. Panzer 35 and the SPW will get the kill onto the M8. But 2 Panhards dying here in the flames. M5 and M3 pushing back the Fusiliers from the hill. Yeah, can't really get over this edge easily as Luna. So not pushing deeper into the south makes total sense. Trying to push the enemy off the center though should be your main focus here as Luna. As if you win the central hill, you can even give up the north. And you can make it really, really tough for Stardekk. Stardekk coming around with the M8 though, pinning down the Storm Pioneers. And yeah, Storm Pioneer being pushed back. SPW 204 will try to fight the M8. Is stuck on the edge though, so won't be able to get the kill. M8 now retreating as the Marder comes along as well. Marder trying to get on target, but without a turret it struggles to do so. As the M8 is retreating out of there. Bofors coming in to stop any of the fighter bombers coming in for longer in the north. Rangers on the edge of the forest, getting heavily mauled by the 35S. And one more Ranger must have died here in the meantime. So Stardekk with the reinforcement secures the forest for now, but losing a couple more Rangers than necessary by getting a bit too far into this forest. Usually not a mistake that we see from Stardekk, as usually Stardekk has a good eye on the line of sight. This time though, not so. Marder gets killed off by the M8 though. Yeah, M8 in the CQC fight has the advantage of the turret. And Marder not able to get on target in time. M8 over here, getting bullied as well. Bullying the Fusilier as well, getting killed on the Panhard. M5 gun helping out. So only the Marder in the south right now left to deal with this. More tanks coming up, but they will take a while. And for that time, the M8 reigns supreme here. Meanwhile though, the Sherman got taken out in the center. So a push in the center could be possible, but not quite the infantry round anymore for Luna to do so. And that's a problem. M1 gun trying to come up here as well for some kills for the side. And in the north, Luna trying to push back in here, but a Ranger is still left in here. More of the Rangers have fallen, so actually the Rangers trading worse than I expected them to do. But this one easily dealing with the Grenadier, thanks to the rifle leader in the rear, still 3-star veterancy Rangers, so they are still pretty mighty. Grenadiers with MG42s trying to come in. Panzer 35 rotating around, trying to help out against the infantry here as well. We are at a 12-12. BF-109 comes onto the battlefield. Gabby on the other side, retreating towards the Bofors. So Luna has to be careful, keeps the fighter on this side as well, as the BF-109 is able to get out. P-38 tried to come in there, but won't be able to chase it down as it is too slow with the bombs below. Another BF-109 being called in here by Luna. That's quite ballsy. Luna has no AA on the battlefield whatsoever. BF-109 has to be careful. Doesn't want to get hit by Gabby. Good micro here by Luna though. And yeah, the BF-109 can out-micro Gabby for sure, as long as there is no other AA around. Oh, head on here though. Big mistake by Luna. BF-109 gets taken out. Gabby's 850 calts. Really, really strong. Everyone who ever flew a head-on with a P-47 in War Thunder knows what happened there. You don't want to do that. And Stardekk has the 1311 now. And wins the airfights here as well. Without AA, you just struggle really hard to win any of these airfights. A single 20mm could help out big time right now. Though this is really ballsy from Stardekk as well. Using a P-38 for the fight here in the rear. But another fight here, and that ends badly for the BF-109. Doesn't want to fly this head on. Gets the kill though. Oh, that was maybe the best outcome that Luna could have hoped for this situation. So still at least killing the enemy heavy bomber. And the BF-109 is slightly cheaper than the P-38. But in the end, still an okay trade here for Stardekk. Whilst another Flak 41 came around. Finally, an AA piece here for Luna on the battlefield. 2 Shermans replaced the fallen comrade in the center. So this time Luna will have a harder time trying to kill them. A single martyr most likely will be overwhelmed. B2 not quite having the stats to win this fight. And in the north, Stardekk's infantry showed supreme as well. Yeah, that was what I was talking about. Like, Stardekk's infantry in these scenarios should just be able to overwhelm Luna, and Luna did pretty well, surprisingly well. Stardekk needed to invest more into here to win it than I expected, but still needed to, was able to win it in the end. And yeah, Luna not able to hold this, so Luna should focus on the center, try to win this, but that won't be easy either, with enemy Shermans all around. Martyr though, using the stealth really well, not being spotted by the infantry, and gets another Sherman here. Good kill sticker for Luna, great micro on the Martyr. Now only 1 Sherman is remaining, and with 3 tanks around, yes, these don't have the highest chance of beating it, but together with the Martyr, maybe Luna could overwhelm this M4 as well, and then maybe could push for more. As more infantry now coming in, Flak 41 obviously wants to unload further forward, maybe even wants to unload on the hill here, helping out with fire support as well as AA. So, really interesting middle fight here. Yeah, Luna has to give up the north. You can't fight there. M3 howitzer now solidifying the position here for Stardekk though. Really great 2000 meter range support. Whilst we have more M3s coming in the center. Grenadier holding back the rifle earlies. As Grenadier's really doing well. Luna used the cover of the ruins here with the Martyr. That's how the Martyr didn't, the Sherman didn't spot it. And Martyr has good medium stealth. Sherman has very low optics, so on that range it doesn't have a chance of spotting it if nothing else spots the Martyr. But Ranger Marauders have a chance of getting a good bazooka shot there, and that changes the situation, because without the Martyr, the Sherman is the king of the battlefield here. Ranger Marauder down to 1 hit point, but still alive, so still can be annoying for longer. 380mm off map can come in here to hit this, as yeah, this is a tough spot for Stardekk here, for Luna here now. And this north is not looking good. Center needs to be a win. The off map might be the way to do so though. Good off maps can really decide Orsha East. It's one of the maps where off maps can really swing the favor of the battle around. And the 380mm has the power of killing, but only 2 salvos, so they have to be placed well. Let's see how this goes. Pretty expensive off map as well, so quite the big investment here for Luna at the beginning of C phase, a whole minute just into this. South situation, Luna not really able to push forward thanks to the M5 gun here and the M3 howitzer in the south. And we have the first big boy coming out for Stardekk. The first slow but steady, heavily armored Sherman version. The M4A1 Rhino with the extra frontal armor. Able to go through barrages as well, but that's not necessary on the maps over here. Grenadier MG42 trying to help out on the long range over here. Bit better than their MG34 brethren. And the off-map actually decides to go for the north. I'm not sure if that's the wisest choice. Like, I don't know if Luna can bridge this gap in time. Good micro though against the M3 howitzer. MG42 able to kill that. And with a good off-map, it actually might be possible. As a Stardekk is on the way as well. Can Luna break the north? That would be a surprise, but it's not impossible, though the P47 here is a good call-in by Stardekk, I would say. Able to pin down and 1 Pioneer, kill off the MG42. Okay, I thought it would go for one of the Pioneers, but MG42, good target there as well. So, yeah, makes it a bit harder here for Luna. As meanwhile, Stardekk is launching an assault over here with the assault groups and some more Rangers. Assault groups sadly only having 2 Thompsons. If they would have more Thompsons, they would be a lot better. But still a relatively solid CQC unit. The smoke grenade, quite helpful. Storm Pioneers holding their ground relatively well here though. Trying their best to hold on, but the half-tracks overwhelm them in the end. No tanks here on the hill for Luna, and Stardekk gets the 1410. Off-map now being called in the north, but the Pioneers had to fall back for a bit. Stuk coming in. Another M3 howitzer already in. Let's see what this off-map can solve. I'm surprised it didn't go for here. I would say Luna should focus more on this position than focusing on the north. Yeah, that's interesting. 1410 here for Stardekk. 1410 for Stardekk. Off-map gets the M1. Doesn't get the direct hits on the front line though. Quite unlucky off-map hits, landing a lot on the north. Still get the pins mostly, but don't get the Sherman pinned. So, quite unfortunate, as the Sherman now can bully the infantry, can use the line of sight here pretty well, keeping itself out of the range of the Stug, while it's bullying the Pioneers. So, Stardekk really using this well. Stug can fire on some units. Actually, able to fire onto the M4. Okay, miss micro there from Stardekk. Gets changed now though, as the Sherman is falling back a bit further. Got one pin though, so has to fall back further. Another one of these shots and it is down. The Stug is moving forward. Sherman holding its ground. As the Stug is coming up. Sherman trying to kill the Stug, but that's too long of a range. Actually losing the Sherman. Bit of a miss micro there by Stardekk, but gets an M3 and an M5 gun in here now. And the M5 gun should for sure deal with the Stug, if not the M3 gun already. So this push of Luna won't really succeed. Another off-map, second off-map is coming in over here, but not really the forces to help out with a push here either. The Flak 41 made it to the hill, but not quite having the infantry to follow up a push here, I would say. Even if the off-map goes well, and the M3 most likely won't get hit by this. So that one should still be pretty solid. Bofors immediately goes down though. And let's see how the rest of the off-map lands. Gets the Rhino! Wow, that was a fortunate hit, because the Rhino was just on the edge of this whole setup. Yeah, these times RNG really on Luna's side. But can Luna put this to victory? I fear that is not working out. Ranger Marauders gets the kill onto the Panzer 35. Meanwhile, in the south, Martyrs and B2s holding their line. That's on the other side. Hellcats have arrived, and Hellcats still really scary, thanks to their amazing speed of 65% kmh off the road and 81 kmh on the road. Like, their off-road speed is faster than 90% of the other tanks in the game, and their off-road speed is faster than most of the trucks in the game. So, a really amazing vehicle for its gun. Only 8 hit points nowadays, so a single penetration of a medium tank kills them. So really an absolute pinnacle of class cannon. But when they hit hard. BF-109 trying to hit the M3 gun should work out. And that should be the end of the M3. So good hits here by Luna, but the two Hellcats now are quite annoying. Not really having an option to deal with those efficiently. B2 tank trying to do the job, but will get killed. Won't be able to get a penetration. And Ranger Marauders here surviving are an issue. The 380mm off-map didn't do the job. North still in the hands of Stardekk. Luna getting a flag in the south, but really can't push without the AT support to deal with the M8s and the upcoming Rhino. M18s. The Hellcats really holding their ground well there. Stug in the center versus Sherman. Stug should finish that job now. Yeah, another Sherman getting popped there. Stug's on the medium range, really good Sherman killers. But Luna needs a lot more than this to win the center. And the center is where Luna really is down to right now. South, good trades here lately, like solid trades, but nothing super fancy. And Stardekk has brought the right reinforcements here, is holding the front line well, gets more Rhinos and Hellcats into the center. IG-33 could be helpful in the north, but most likely not enough to win this whole fight here. Let's see how well it hits. Oh wow, first hit instantly wiping out a rifle early there. Okay, great hit there for Luna. Now trying to go for the M5 gun here with indirect fire. Getting a good hit there. So Stardekk needs to be careful over there. That actually might go down. BF-109 together with Flak 41 trying to help out getting the P-47 killed off, but Gabby is tough to kill. Not as tough as in Steel Division normally, but still pretty tough beast. Got directly hit by the Flak 41 here though. Flak 41 dealing a good amount of damage. P-47 trying to chase it. After the BF-109, won't be able to do it though. Flak 41 good at area control, area denial. All of this is really, really good. But I'm surprised that Luna doesn't invest more into the center. Now, more reinforcements coming in there. Yes, if you can push the enemy off this edge, it for sure can do well. M18 coming in though, instantly sniping the Stuk, so once more, Luna without good tank support in the center. And that will be problematic in the long run. Pak 48 at the same time though, getting the first of the Hellcats. AP shells fired. Good micro there by Luna, turning off the APCRs as the AP shells one-shots these Hellcats. Second Hellcat, though, good micro there by Stardekk, getting it out of line of sight after losing the first one. 13-11 still going on for Stardekk. And Luna trying to set up a push on this north. Center still could be won though. More MG8s coming in. These are pretty bad medium MGs, but they're really cheap. One of the few German decks that actually gets these. Might be the only one, I'm not quite sure. No, I don't think they're the only one, but yeah. MG8's not the unit that we see too often. As I said, their damage characteristics are not the most amazing, but they are spammable, unlike MG34s and MG42s, which are good bit price here. P47's here, helping out, dealing with this whole scenario. Pak 40 trying to move forward, trying to help out, dealing with the Rhino if that moves closer in here. Panzerschreck obviously can be helpful there as well. So, yeah, Pak 40 needs to be careful though. Rhino has a 50 cal, so it can pin down anti-tank guns relatively quickly as well. Doesn't see the Pak 40 here in the green cover, in the yellow cover though. So the Pak 40 will get the first hit. Rhino gets penetrated on the short range, has to retreat. Yeah, Stardekk now needs to be really careful with this Rhino, but is up to a 1410 and has a radio mortar to take out this annoyance of the Pak 40. Stuk 3 trying to come in. Radio mortar not having radio cover here, I think. So it's a bit more inaccurate. It could be just on the edge. Artillery commander for sure will get it radio cover up there though. And now it's Stardekk's time to use an off map. And that comes in on a really opportune moment, I would say. As it just comes in as the Panzer Jäger 35s and the Stuks are rolling down into the front line here, and a good amount of infantry here will be caught most likely by this off map as well. So really good moment here for Stardekk to call this in. In the north, IG-33 tries to push forward, got rid of the M5 gun, but the M3 howitzer is still on this hill, and Stardekk has set up a really good defensive setup here. M3 howitzer has a good field of view, can't be sniped from the IG-33 too easily from afar. Pioneers trying to move in here. Good amount of Panzerjägers died. Off map coming in nasty as well. More and more units getting pinned or killed outright by it. At least the Stuk stayed in the rear. And one more tank of Stardekk's here died in the center. But Luna won't get the push of the center that is necessary at this stage, basically, to get the victory here. Hellcat will have a fight against the Sherman here, against the Stuk. Panzerschreck not able to get any snipes on these tanks. And the Hellcat and the Rhino fall back behind the ridge, so the Stuk can't fire upon them. Meanwhile, a couple of infantry units here of Luna tried to cross the open in the south, got caught though, and now get hit hard by enemy HE fire. BF-109s trying to come in once more. Flak feeling by now has come in here as AA, so Gabby, if Gabby comes around here, has to be really careful. Meanwhile, a good kill onto the M3 howitzer down here. P47 doesn't quite get the MG42, good micro there by Luna once more. And Panzerjäger 35s tried to cross the open, but there is a hunter waiting for them. M18 Hellcat should be able to open fire on to them just a long time before they get in range. If they get in range, their rapid fire 47mm can easily take out the Hellcat. As they have 15 rate of fire. Oh, they actually get in range. That is problematic for the Hellcat. Hellcat did spot them a bit late. No infantry helping them out. It doesn't have the best optics. So Hellcat actually gets taken out. Yeah, the Panzerjäger 35R, really good vehicle here in the hands of Luna. And Luna getting a couple of good TNT hits here in the center as well. Trying to move forward once more with the Stug, but doesn't have an infantry screening after this Pioneer will fall. And there's still the rifle leader with a bazooka, so this is not the most amazing of moves. Needs more infantry once more there, and needs something to pin down this whole section of the map for good. More Panzerjägers coming in the south. BF-109 trying to bomb something here. Got the bombs off. Needs to be careful though, as Gabby is hot on its tail. BF-109, G6, R4 coming in here. Can't go for the head-on. No, 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 no. Oh! As I say that, it once more trades 1 for 1, as it's 30mm, deal a lot of damage. But yeah, it's a BF-109. It's a pretty flimsy plane. In head-ons, it always dies. But at least it takes Gabby with it. Though I think Gabby, if anything, is 5 points more expensive. So, not really an amazing trade there for Luna either. But at least got rid of Gabby. Might allow the fighter bombers now to get through easier, as we still don't have an AA in the south for Stardekk. One in the center came in as replacement for the one that was lost earlier to the off-map. And Stardekk still holding the north here. Luna trying to move in there once more, but without any artillery to pin down the CQC units of Stardekk over here. Basically, the infantry fights will always go Stardekk's way if Stardekk plays it correctly. So, uphill battle. I would say the ranges over here are the most favorable for Luna. So, I don't know why this is not pressed more. Naval Warfare 41 trying to go for the snipe on the mortar, but it's a pretty long range for the Naval Warfare 41. Its rockets don't deal the most damage. Well, don't have the best AoE, let's put it that way. They deal good damage, but their AoE is pretty lackluster. Meanwhile, off-map coming in over here. Not really killing anything. And that's a pretty expensive off-map, so Hellcat's even surviving is quite bad there, as the off-map all lands on the road here. And the Rhino is completely unscathed, so pushing onto that is not gonna happen. Pioneers and Panzerjägers here trying to hold the line against the rifle lates. P-47 getting a bombing run through. G6, R4 though behind it, but not quite able to get the kill. Is the Flak Feeling from the south able to do it? No. P-47 will get out alive. Will be in need of repairs for a good bit though. So with the time limit in place, that P-47 will be out for a good bit, so the damage still somewhat worthwhile there. Flak Feeling under heavy fire here by the Rhino though, and most likely will fall to it, as the anti-tank that tries to save it comes around a bit late. And Sherman guns do a solid amount of HE damage. Next off map from Stardekk in the center, as Luna finally is able to get some ground here. One flag gained, though at the same time the progress in the north completely stalled. Luna once more moving the off map in there instead of into the center. Big mistake in my eyes. Like, I would say if all the off maps would have, or 3 out of 4 off maps would have landed in the center could have been won here by Luna. Not this way though, or at least way, way harder, as Luna is pushing onto the rifle leader right now. Stuck under the off-map fire, might fall here. Pioneers get the kill onto the rifle leader, at least, so Luna getting a bit more ground even there now. Missing a Panzer Schreck or so in the front line though, and not having the Stuck there is kind of painful as well. Rhino holding the south pretty well. Mortar fire on a pretty good spot here. Actually coming in with smoke though, as all HE rounds have been used up. Naval Warfare once more trying to come in here for the long range snipe. Will deal a bit of damage to the rifle lates, but that's about it. This range really a bit too long for... You need good RNG if you fire on this range with the Naval Warfare 41s. Should have been rather focused onto the center, I think. Whilst the assault groups are still in this transport over here. As Stardekk is microing well with this. Pioneers got spotted. Need to be careful there. Rifle Late spotted them as well. Off map comes in for the north. This time, getting a good amount of pins and a solid amount of kills. But Grenadier MG42s always can get pushed out. Unless they win the whole north at once now, this is not gonna change too much. As the Rifle Late still should be able to hold this, and the Grenadier MG42s that should now move in to surrender don't do so, so yeah, this off-map feels kind of wasted as well. As landing on this, killing off a Rhino or a Hellcat, they could achieve a lot, like allowing Luna to take this position here and maybe getting an anti-tank gun or so in here. That would be major. Meanwhile, in the north, it doesn't do too much. Luna still trading pretty decent here though. Martyr 2 coming around. Getting shots onto the Rhino. Rhino out of range. So needs to be really careful there. Has a good amount of armor though, so gets the bounces. Once the Rifle Lates are able to open up onto the Pak 40. Pak 40 won't survive this for long. Yeah, most likely will die there. Ah, no, yeah, will go down in the end. Naval Warfare 41 going 40 AA. This one being a bit closer to its previous targets, but the aim was a bit off. So Bofors will survive as well. Stuk goes down to the M3 howitzers heat shells here. These one-shot Stuk if they penetrate. So good kill there. M3 howitzer now under fire, but even if you trade it against the Stuk, that's still worthwhile. These only cost 55 points. So Luna really under pressure now. 30 minutes already played. And basically needs to completely break Stardekk to win the game here. Even if it goes back to 12-12. To get a similar amount of tick in the next 20 minutes. And I don't see that happening. Well, it's the Rifle Lates moving over here to try to get onto this IG-33. Sitting, trying to hit the Rhino. Bit too long range though to use the heat shell for the IG-33. Yeah, Rhino should be able to win this as well. The Panzerjägers not having the penetration to deal with the Rhino. Good enough to deal with normal Shermans, but against the Rhino, they're a bit helpless. And I think Luna focused too much effort here. Like, still trading better than I expected anyone to do with 352nd versus 2nd Infantry, but this is just not a terrain you can fight in. And it's only one flag, so give that up, put an IG-33 in here, hold the open, and then focus onto the center. As Luna did good damage here. As I said, one more of the off-maps used there, instead of only one used here, one in the south and two in the north. I think the situation here could be different. With the situation being what it is, Luna won't be able to push any further here, and the flanks ain't looking great right now. Rhino's pushing all across the board. Pak 40 trying to come around to push them back, but most likely won't be able to do so. Long range liking over here as well. And this is really problematic for our player in blue here in this one. So, yeah. Like 41. Trying to help out against the Rifle Lates here. Grenadier, MG42. Sitting in a nice building. Panzerschreck getting in here now, but it's not really of great importance because Luna won't be able to take more ground here, and a lot more ground is needed at this stage. And even in the north, Luna now got completely wiped out. Yeah, Naval Warfare 41 still trying their best here. This time, hitting a sweet spot. Still not doing an amazing amount of damage, killing one infantry. But yeah, doing their job this time. Yes, they're not the most expensive unit, even with a big supply drag. With 10,000 supply, they only cost 100 points. So still quite a good unit, but as I said, the ranges you want to use them at are like around 2,000 meters. Usually, you don't want to fire much more than that, otherwise their RNG just becomes too big to be predictive. about what you get for an outcome. And
Hello, sir. Love that roll.
yeah, Pack 40 moving forward. Thanks for the sub, Reef. Thanks for the sub. And yeah, let's see if you can get that title defended in the Fantasy League this season as well. 107mm coming in 40, Flak 41 over here. Will get a kill. So far, not really getting on top of it. Stardekk 3G moving into the center. As the Flak 41 is trying to get out of there. 1410 here for Stardekk. As yeah, this game is basically over. Luna showing good prowess we here with 352nd, but in general I would say it's still an uphill battle. Still not the most amazing of choices to pick 352nd. It got a lot better since its first launch. Like, for sure way better than its normally 44 days. But it's still none of the top decks, while 2nd Infantry is for sure still up there. Even after the latest nerfs, that deck is still pretty powerful. And yeah, radio mortars, good air support, Hellcats, Rhinos, and a really good variety of infantry. Well, the infantry on 352nd side is just pretty lackluster. So yeah, P47 here will die. M3 gun got killed as well, but the Stardekk falls at the same time. Does the Naval Warfare do the kill this time? No. I mean, it gets a kill, but not quite on the mortar. At least gets the supply truck. But it's only 2 minutes 15 here now remaining for Luna in this game. Well, it's the damage that Stardekk puts onto the field is quite massive, and it's only 15 minutes remaining, so even a comeback here at this point, really, really tough. So, yeah. Rhino hitting the Grenadier MG42s. Hellcat versus E2. Oh yeah, we will up the playoff game points for Division 1. Right, we need to do that a bit. Yeah. You're right there. B2 versus Rifle Lates. Hitting over here, MG42. Hitting the assault group. Well, it's the Rifle Lates from over here. Killing off the Grenadiers. Grenadier MG42 moving forward as well. 107mm. Hitting into this zone. That's the Grenadier Panzerfaust. Fighting versus the M1919. Rifle Lates dealing with the Grenadier Panzerfaust on the hill. Pioneers trying to move forward as well. Hellcat coming in there slowly. Stardekk 3G. Trying to move up. Rhino on the other side. That's the 203mm. Gets killed. Flak 41 kills the Rhino. Still good trades here from Luna in the end as well, but yeah, Stardekk just got the right fights won, whilst Luna didn't. Stardekk focused on the strengths of his divisions really, really well, and gets the W here in game 1. With Luna getting the better in KD, but not taking the ground with it. So, yeah, that's what matters. Stardekk doing this here quite often. Stardekk really, really good at early game, grabbing the good ground, and knowing how to win games, basically. Like, just grabbing the ground in the right moment, at the right time. Luna, not good enough to win the center decisively. And loses here in the end. In game number 1 between these two. So, well played. And no, 50-minute time limit. So yeah, we will move on to game number 2 now. Between Stardekk and Luna. So don't run away, everyone. See you all in a minute. So here we are. Game number 2. And Stardekk is up 1-0. We are back on the lovely map of Slutsk. And Stardekk is coming in with the wild bands as well to keep Luna from the meme divisions. 352nd this time is under them. But Luna has banned 97th, 4th Bolshevik, 26, 3rd US, and 2nd ID. So a lot of standard bans out of Luna. And the picks in the end, 2 Maverick decks on the left side. Stardekk bringing in 44th. On the right side, Luna bringing in the lovely 5th Cavalry Motorizata. I'm pretty sure Stardekk attack power just jumped up in his chair and made happy noises when seeing this. Because, yeah, Cavalry Motorizata, solid deck, but has dropped off quite a bit since its heyday. Still, pretty good deck. Vegeta's obviously really helpful on a map like this. Outside of that, though, lacking a bit in that long range department. Whilst on the other side, SU 152s and T-3485s, 1944s give you good amount of 2000 meter range on the other side. So, yeah. Good position there for Stardekk to be in that regard when it comes to armored vehicles. Infantry-wise, though, Luna should have the advantage. And as I said, the Vegeta really helpful on the long range. So let's see how that goes. Stardekk setting up a big push in the south. Everyone who watched the monthly tournament game where Stardekk played against me knows how that can go. Let's see if Luna suffers the same fate down there. But before we go in, once more, a quick shout out to, first of all, Fantasy League, where you can pick your favorite Steel Division League players and create a lovely team of them and see how they perform and how your budget works out. We just changed it down to Reef's pointing out, wins for Division 1 are worth 20 points now. So they're actually a bit more worthwhile to take. As Reef rightfully pointed out, they play 1 round less. So, yeah, that will do that. And then, also, once more Match Reno, guys. Come on, guys. You can press that little button up there for the claim code and add 25 cents to the prize pool completely for free, guys. It's just one click. Yeah, and it will be paid out to one of us, to one of the Steel Division players in the end who earned it in this tournament. So, come on, guys. Press that claim code button. Get that prize pool up. Also, if you want to buy some lovely t-shirts or some lovely coffee, could do that as well down there to add some money to the prize pool. But yeah, with that said, let's jump back in here. Let's talk about that match. And because you're in the French group and the rest of the Frenchies are even bigger defeaters than you are, lolly. So I'm optimistic that you will make it out of there. And then you will be warmed up again, and then you will make 2nd place, and that will be good enough for me. No, yeah, hopefully you will win full on. As the game starts now, and Stardekk is coming in full brand for the southern section of the map. Luna will see that soon, as an IAR is coming out, and ooh, there's no AA down here. Ooh, no AA down here. Can we see some lovely kills down there? BF109 E7 actually coming in. You know, that is having a lot of firepower, but very bad resilience, and is pretty slow as well. So, okay, you buy it for the firepower. Let's see what it can do. IAR here, trying to stop the Ognamachiki. Will get its bombs off. Ooh, good hit. Unloads everything and gets a nice kill, stopping these units from getting nastily into these positions here. So good hits there. Well, the T-34 and the 2 SU-152s keep on moving forward though. But Stardekk got spotted by the IAR, so Luna knows what's up. Next IAR trying to come in around for a bombing run over here. Let's see if that can be successful. AA being called in for the north at 25mm and for the south another 25mm here to stop IAR runs in the future. But HS129 could really hinder Stardekk's aggression here at the early game. And SU-152 is not splitting just yet. Okay, now the split is starting to happen. Oh, is Stardekk quick enough, you know? Ah, that seems rather clumsy. One of them should have kept moving forward. Will they both die? No, one will go down. But still a good strike here for Luna. Getting rid of one of the annoying units on the other side. SD152s nowadays 70 points. Still really good vehicles, but a bit more pricey. So yeah, Luna getting a really, really nice strike in there. Stopping this push a lot better than I did. Or at least for now, holding it. It's not stopped just yet. SU-152 and T-3485 still the biggest boys on the battlefield down in south. And once the AA is out, this might go a lot better for Stardekk, because this should be able to keep some of the recon bombers for sure at bay in the future. Hello, Mr. Bowser. Hope you had a great stream over with that Hoi 4. As we have a lovely, lovely game of Stardekk versus Luna at hand. And Luna bullying Stardekk here at the beginning. Though Stardekk won game number 1. Let's see if Luna can bring it back here now with a really good start into game number 2. Stardekk a bit stuck now. T-3485 should survive against an M32 from the front, most likely, as it tries to penetrate it with its APCR shells. Penetration chance there should be relatively low, though it seems to do damage there. Drew panicked now, being forced back, and another HS-129 with cluster comes onto the battlefield, but this time Stardekk is somewhat prepared. 25mm tries to kill the HS-129. Luna doesn't press for the attack. Most likely would have been fully pinned down before the HS-129 could have dropped its bomblets, and then would have killed off by the 25mm. But the Yak-3 is killing it anyways. IAR 80 on the other side though might be able to kill the Yak-3 together with the BF-109E. BF-109E, a slow plane, but a really agile one. And the Yak-3 is trying to get behind the IAR 80 here. Not getting the kill there, but Yak-3 will get out alive as well. So a really interesting early game here so far. Stardekk reinforces the south now with another T-3485, and there's nothing to counter these on the long ranges. The air, really important here for Stardekk, but now that the 25mm AA comes online, the position for Luna in the south still is rather scary. M32 pushing forward to kill the half-track here that bullies the Pioneer Kalari. In the north, we have a stalemate position as well. The infantry of Luna should be able to hold this part of the map for sure. Kalarazi around with the sniper rifles, Pioneer Kalari with the Berettas and the TNTs should be really, really strong in the CQC there as well. The mortar 60mm comes in to try to bully this hill. But the big question is, can Luna hold the south? Regida anti-tank gun will try to help out, and that will be a big help. Regida, the best anti-tank gun in the game at the moment. Amazing rate of fire for a 2000 meter range gun that has HE and good AP. So Regida can do catastrophic damage if you pushed into it the wrong way. But it's still an anti-tank gun. It's still a rather static unit that can be dealt with smoke or bombers or any sort of artillery. HS-129 getting really close to drop its bombs this time, but the 25mm stopped it from doing so. And nice smoke here on the tanks as well. So the HS-129 not coming around to cluster the SU-152 this time around, but will get out alive, unlike its brother in the north. So will still be a threat for the remainder. And the Regida is now on the field. Once the smoke is cleared, the SU-152 should be able to see it. And that will be interesting. SU-152 shouldn't be able to kill it quickly. So then the Regida most likely will be able to finish it off. Ognomachiki prolonging the smoke over here. SU-152 retreating now. But with two SU-152s and a T-3485, you could overwhelm it. Maybe one of your tanks still dies, but you could overwhelm it. And there's more tanks in 44th than there's Regidas in 5th Cavalry. So that might be a worthwhile trade. Even if the point-wise might not be. Though even there, losing an SU-152 is worthwhile. It might be worthwhile when it comes to the rest. 2-2 coming in here to bombing units on the front line. I'm surprised it didn't try to go for the Regida, as it actually would have pressed the attack through. That would have been really catastrophic for the south of Luna. Push still is coming through, killing off the 47mm is still annoying here for Luna, but and especially as the 2-2 makes it out alive. But it's not as big of a loss as if the Vegeta would have died, and it's quite ballsy to leave a Vegeta out in the open like Luna does here. Vegeta now running back, Stardekk up on the 1311. 60mm mortars have arrived in the north. As the ABU Jor is trying to move forward. Jori trying to move forward as well. PM's sitting around. And the IAR 37 flying as a recon plane, but not being able to bomb on the front line easily anymore since the AAs have arrived. Did its job in the early game though, stopping the push of Stardekk in the beginning here by killing off the transports and forcing the unload on the Ognomachikis and Sniperies, even though it didn't get the kills there outright, was still pretty annoying for Stardekk not getting those units that he wanted to get into these buildings over here in there. And also obviously scouting for the SU-152 kill of the HS-129 afterwards. But this IAR might be doomed, as there's no AA still in the south, and the Yak-3 gets the kill. Ooh, has to be careful though. IR and BF-109 get behind it, so in the end, it still was a worthwhile sacrifice, because the Yak-3, a good bit more expensive than the IR-37 recon plane. So, all fine in the end. And actually, smoke usage out of Luna over here. That is interesting. Also, that smoke usage, yeah, I'm not 100% sure what it is for, why. Okay, I guess wants to allow the Rogioris to move forward in here. And force the SU-152s to either move closer and then maybe get into the range of the Vegeta. Or not, but the timing on that is not perfect. Involve a 60mm mortar to spam against the enemy infantry in the center has arrived as well. And we have an IR off-map plane now coming in. And the 25mm is trying to stop it, but won't be there in time. So an off-map has been called in, and this might be really bloody. 152mm off-map is a good artillery barrage, and there's a lot of targets in this circle of doom. The units to follow it up with are not the most amazing. Only one ABU Jor as maneuverable unit here to move around. Nothing really to surrender that easily, but still some good units there. And the 1311 is slowly taking for Stardekk, but Luna still absolutely in this game. Question is, how will Luna do if Stardekk can set up the good mid game of 44th? Yes, the off-map of 44th has become more expensive. Yes, the SU-152 has become more expensive, but if you get them online, the T-3485's 2000 meter range plus the SU-152's 2000 meter range plus the off-maps that are still absolutely deadly, can be really, really powerful still. And we'll see if Luna has an answer to this. 1311 now, as an M30 artillery piece makes it to the front line here. Stardekk, what is this? Shameful display, Stardekk. Shameful display. This 42 as the transport option here. Obviously taken for the 15 frontal armor. This 42 makes it to the front line. Well, I'm not even sure. Maybe it's not shameful display. Maybe you can't take it in a faster transport. But yeah, IAR 37